Hey everyone, we're stepping into the past today to uncover the marvels of ancient engineering with a look at gadgets that were far ahead of their time. So for today's video, I'm counting down 15 of the most incredible ancient gadgets, starting with number 15, Greek fire. In the 7th century AD, the Byzantine Empire harnessed the power of fire with the creation of Greek fire, a weapon of destruction unlike any other before its time. This incendiary weapon was able to fire massive flames in a continuous jet, burning a trail of destruction in its path that was nearly impossible to extinguish. Though the exact recipe for Greek fire still remains a mystery, historians believe they've uncovered some of the fascinating practical ways this mysterious weapon was used. Greek fire was a game-changer for Greece when it came to naval warfare. Though the exact origin of it is still unclear, many believe it was invented by a Syrian engineer named Kallinikos. Unfortunately, not much is known about him or his life story, but it's assumed that he brought his invention to the Byzantine emperor sometime during the 7th century, which led to its widespread use. The exact composition still remains a mystery. However, there's some speculation regarding additional chemicals used to produce this weapon. Some sources suggest that additional chemicals used in Greek fire included potassium nitrate, oil, and sulfur. This would make sense, as sulfur in particular was heavily used by the Greeks for a variety of purposes. Sulfur was also sometimes used throughout Europe to produce pyrotechnics, such as for ancient Roman circuses, so its use in the creation of Greek fire is a very strong possibility. Number 14. The Feos Disc. In 1908, an Italian archaeologist ventured into the ruins of Feos, an ancient Minoan palace on the south coast of Crete. In an underground temple depository amongst burnt bones, dust, and ashes, he found a remarkably intact golden-hued disc. This discovery is known as one of the most famous mysteries in archaeology, the Feos Disc. This disc is a large, umber-colored fired clay plate, about 15 centimeters in diameter and about 1 centimeter thick. Both sides of the disc are covered with a spiral of strange stamped symbols, circling clockwise towards the disc's center. It's presumed that the 45 unique symbols were made by pressing hieroglyphic seals into the damp, soft clay disc. Well, to this day, researchers still debate the purpose of this disc and what the coded symbols mean. But the most curious aspect of the disc is the hieroglyphics. These symbols are pictograms portraying images of a man walking, a tattooed head, a helmet, an arrow, manacles, cats, eagles, and many more. Both Sir Arthur Evans, discoverer of the Minoan capital Knossos in 1900, and Luigi Pernier attempted to translate the disc but were unsuccessful. Since that time, no fewer than 26 notable attempts have been made to decipher the code. Interpretations as to the significance of these symbols include the disc being an ancient prayer, a game board, an astronomical document, a document from Atlantis, an adventure story, a description of the mythical labyrinth, initiation rites, or even a solar calendar. Nobody really knows. Number 13. The Iron Pillar of Delhi. In Delhi stands one of the world's most intriguing metal artifacts, the Iron Pillar. Remarkably, despite being over 1,000 years old, this pillar shows no signs of rust. It measures some 24 feet from the top of its capital to the bottom of its base, with 3.5 feet buried underground. The base rests on a grid of iron bars that are soldered with lead into the upper layer of the stone pavement. The pillar's lower diameter is about 17 inches, tapering to an upper diameter of about 12 inches, and it's estimated to weigh about 6 tons. The pillar is adorned with several inscriptions, the oldest of which is a 6-line, 3-stanza Sanskrit verse. Mention of the name Chandra in the 3rd verse has enabled scholars to date the pillar back to about 375 to 415 AD. Although now it stands in Delhi, the original location of the pillar remains a topic of debate. One prevailing theory suggests the pillar was initially installed at a different site and later moved to the fortress city of Lal Kot in modern-day Delhi. Several theories have been proposed to explain the pillar's resistance to rusting. One prominent theory, the mixed potential theory, posits that a combination of the pillar's processing, structure, and properties work together to form a protective passive layer of rust. Now, scientific analysis indicates that these factors collectively prevent corrosion, giving the pillar its astonishing ability to remain rust-free for over a millennium. Number 12. The Antica Mechanism. So we talk about this one a lot on this channel, but on May 17th in 1902, a Greek archaeologist, Valerios Stais, made a groundbreaking discovery when he uncovered a corroded chunk of metal from an Antikythera wreck, a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera. This find, later identified as part of the mechanism, is often described as the world's first analog computer. The mechanism contains at least 30 different types of gears and about 2,000 letters inscribed on its door plates, and they're thought to form a type of a user manual. Some speculate that the device was inspired by renowned inventor and mathematician Archimedes. Due to its intricate design, many regard it to be the first analog computer. Derek de Solla Price, who analyzed the mechanism in the 1960s, famously remarked that discovering it was akin to finding an internal combustion engine in Tutankhamun's tomb. While the gears were connected to pointers on the front and back face of the device, which indicated the positions of the sun, the moon, and the planets as they moved through the zodiac. An extendable arm with a pin followed a spiral groove, similar to a record player stylus, and a small sphere, half white and half black, showed the phase of the moon. Even more impressive was the mechanism's ability to predict solar and lunar eclipses. This device exemplifies how the ancient Greeks used precisely cut gears to embody their scientific knowledge, providing insight to their perception of the universe. They viewed nature as operating according to predetermined rules, like a machine, an idea that laid the groundwork for modern scientific thought. Number 11. The Nimrod Lens. The Nimrod Lens, a 3,000-year-old piece of rock crystal, was unearthed by Sir John Layard in 1850 at the Assyrian palace of Nimrud in what is now Iraq. Since its discovery, scientists and historians have debated its use. One prominent Italian professor claimed that the lens was used by the ancient Assyrians as part of a telescope, explaining their extensive knowledge of astronomy. The lens, also known as the Layard lens, dates back to about 750 to 710 BC. It's made from natural rock crystal, and it's slightly oval in shape. Roughly ground, perhaps on a lapidary wheel, it's got a focal point about 11 centimeters from the flat side and a focal length of about 12 centimeters. These dimensions suggest that the Nimrod lens would function as a 3x magnifying glass. It's been suggested that Assyrian craftsmen might have used the lens as a magnifying glass to create intricate carvings, such as those found on seals and in clay tablets inscribed with wedge-shaped script. Other hypotheses is that the lens was used as a burning glass to start fires. Well, whatever its purpose, whether as an ornament, a magnifying lens, a burning glass, or part of a telescope, this lens certainly appears to be more than just an accidental artifact. However, the exact manner in which it was used still remains a mystery we may never fully unravel. Number 10. The Gavan Column. Centuries before the advent of modern seismographs, Armenian monks residing in the Tatev monastery ingeniously devised the Gavan Column, a pivoting pillar sensitive to seismic activity. Positioned within the area of the Voratan River Gorge, the Tatev monastery thrived as a hub of scientific and philosophical inquiry during the medieval era. Originally a site of pagan worship, the monastery evolved with the construction of its first church between 895 and 906. It was dedicated to Saints Paul and Peter. In its heyday, marked by the erection of a shrine to the Virgin Mary in the 11th century, the monastery flourished with nearly 1,000 monks and artisans, housing a library having over 10,000 manuscripts. However, this period of prosperity was abruptly halted by the invasion of the Seljuk Turks in 1170, resulting in the destruction of the monastery and the loss of its invaluable manuscripts. Gradual reconstruction and academic revival happened in the 14th and 15th centuries, culminating in the establishment of a university. Now, this university became a renowned Armenian center for learning, imparting knowledge in various disciplines and fostering self-sufficiency with its own oil press, flour mill, and agricultural resources. Subsequent centuries saw the monastery weather invasions and a devastating earthquake in 1931. Despite those challenges, ongoing efforts aimed to restore the monastery to its former grandeur. Amid all its history, the Gavan Column still stands as an example of ancient ingenuity, while the well-preserved oil mill and the tomb of Grigor Tatavatsi provide glimpses into the monastery's rich past, evoking a sense of awe and reverence for its legacy. Number 9. The Archimedes Screw. Archimedes, the renowned Greek mathematician, scientist, and inventor, he left an indelible mark on the ancient world with his contributions to mathematics and engineering. He's often hailed as the father of simple machines. He introduced groundbreaking concepts such as the lever and the compound pulley, alongside a plethora of ingenious inventions. During the reign of King Hiero II, Archimedes unveiled some of his most celebrated creations, including his enhancement of the Archimedes Screw. Originally, this was devised by the ancient Egyptians as a means of water transportation. Archimedes refined that technology to unprecedented levels of efficiency. The screw, characterized by a hollow tube with a spiral mechanism, it could be manipulated via a handle to elevate water from lower to higher levels. This device revolutionized irrigation practices, offering a reliable method of water transfer that persisted. Moreover, the versatility of Archimedes' inventions extends far beyond their original application. Referred to by various names such as the hydrodynamic screw or water screw, it's found widespread use as a hydraulic machine for lifting water. The ingenuity of Archimedes extends to innovative applications of this screw, such as reverse operation to harness hydroelectric power through the Archimedes screw turbines. These turbines represent an approach to small-scale hydroelectricity generation, offering sustainable energy solutions even in areas with minimal natural water resources. Number 8. The astrolabe. The astrolabe, which is an ancient astronomical instrument with roots tracing back to antiquity, remains an example of ingenuity and precision, combining intricate design with practical functionality. At its core, the astrolabe is a metal disc adorned with a labyrinth of wires, cutouts, and perforations. It's crafted to facilitate precise calculations of celestial positions. Comprised of a disc known as the mater, which cradles one or more flat plates called the tympans, the astrolabe is tailored to specific latitudes. Each tympan bears an engraved stereographic projection, delineating the azimuth and altitude circles that mirror the celestial sphere above the local horizon. The rim of the mater is typically inscribed with graduations denoting hours of time, degrees of arc, or both, enhancing its utility. Throughout history, the astrolabe has transcended cultural and temporal boundaries, finding utility in diverse civilizations and epochs. Its significance extends beyond scientific inquiry, encompassing a myriad of applications ranging from astrology to astronomy and religious practices, plus navigation. In the hands of scholars in the 10th century, it became a repository of knowledge with over 1,000 documented applications spanning astrological, astronomical, and navigational domains. In the Islamic context, the astrolabe played a vital role in determining prayer times, establishing the directions towards Mecca, and shaping the lunar calendar. Its integration into Islamic intellectual and religious practices underscored its cultural and scientific influence, symbolizing the convergence of astronomy, math, and spirituality. Moving on to number 7, the NYLometer. In the ancient realm of Egypt, the Nile River's temperament held sway over life's fortunes during each harvest season. Long before the era of the Aswan Dam, which tamed the river's floods, these ingenious Egyptians devised a tool to gauge the Nile's mood, the NYLometer. This instrument came in 3 distinct varieties, remnants of which still grace Egypt's landscapes. Among them was the simplest form, a towering column nestled within a submerged stone structure known as the stilling well. Take, for instance, the NYLometer on Rhoda Island in Cairo, featuring an octagonal marble column anchored by a wooden beam, its length spanning the width of the well. A staircase within the well enables priests entrusted with monitoring duties to descend and inspect the column closely. The monumental measuring rod bore inscriptions marking water levels, providing priests with vital insights into the Nile's impending behavior, be it drought, optimal inundation fostering fertile soil, or even perilous floods. Today, the NYLometer on Rhoda Island resides within a modernized edifice. Its ornate interior is adorned with intricate carvings. While a conical roof now crowns the structure, replacing an erstwhile dome lost in the French occupation of 1825, visitors can travel in there in its entirety, with 3 erstwhile water tunnels now filled. Number 6. The Opus Caementicium. You ever wonder how your brand new apartment seems to be falling apart, but so much Roman architecture around the world still manages to survive the test of time? Well, the answer is Roman concrete. It stood as a marvel of ancient engineering and of minds, shaping the architectural landscape of ancient Rome. It's crafted from a blend of hydraulic setting cement and aggregates. This material found application in a myriad of enduring structures, including bridges, reservoirs, and aqueducts. Dating back to around 150 BC, with some scholars suggesting even earlier Genesis, Roman concrete had remarkable durability. Its strength was often augmented with Polonezaic ash, curbing crack propagation, while innovative techniques allowed for self-repairing properties as evidenced by recent research. Binders like gypsum and quicklime lent cohesion to this mixture, while volcanic dust conferred resistance to salt water, a critical feature for marine constructions. The longevity of Roman concrete owes much to its interaction with seawater, which prompted the formation of aluminous toberomite crystals, offering unparalleled durability compared to modern concrete. In seismic regions like Italy, strategic interruptions and internal constructions within walls and domes endowed this concrete with flexibility, allowing structures to withstand earth tremors. Even gradation techniques exemplified by the Pantheon's alternating layers of light tuff and pumice further bolstered its strength and stability. Number 5. The Baghdad Batteries. So the Baghdad Batteries, they're a trio of artifacts discovered near present-day Qujut Rabu in Iraq. It's captivated imaginations of historians and scientists since its unearthing in 1936. Comprised of a ceramic pot, a copper tube, and an iron rod, this assemblage raises more questions than it provides answers. Wilhelm Koenig, the former director of the National Museum of Iraq, first proposed a theory regarding the function of these objects. He suggested that they might have functioned as a galvanic cell, potentially utilized for electroplating or electrotherapy purposes. However, this hypothesis lacks solid evidence. Some researchers speculate that this substance could have served as an electrolyte solution, facilitating the generation of an electric current between the copper and iron components. Nevertheless, the absence of concrete evidence for electroplating practices in ancient Mesopotamia does cast doubt on this interpretation. Paul T. Kaiser represents an alternative perspective, suggesting that the Baghdad Battery may have been employed for mild electrotherapy purposes such as pain relief or electroacupuncture. However, this interpretation remains speculative. Beyond the realm of electroplating and electrotherapy, though, other theories regarding the purpose of this thing abound. Some propose that these artifacts served as storage vessels for sacred scrolls or had religious significance, while others speculate about their potential use in alchemical practices. As the debates surrounding the batteries continue, one thing remains certain: its discovery serves as a reminder of the ingenuity and prowess of ancient civilizations. Whether used for practical purposes or imbued with symbolic meaning, the true nature of the Baghdad Battery may forever remain shrouded in mystery. Number 4. The ZangHang Seismoscope. ZangHang's invention of the seismoscope in 132 AD stands as an example of the remarkable ingenuity of Chinese technology. This pioneering device, capable of detecting earthquakes from afar without relying on local movement, represented a significant milestone in the history of seismic detection. In the ancient Chinese worldview, earthquakes were perceived not merely as geological phenomena, but as cosmic disturbances with profound significance. Understanding the importance of detecting earthquakes promptly, ZangHang embarked on an ambitious task of creating a device capable of alerting Chinese leaders to seismic events anywhere in their kingdom. The seismoscope itself was a marvel of craftsmanship. A giant bronze vessel, adorned with intricately designed dragons representing the primary compass directions, housed the mechanism for detecting the activity. The exact mechanism by which it operated remains a mystery, but one theory posits the use of a thin stick set loosely within the vessel, which would topple in the direction of a seismic shock, triggering the release of a bronze ball. The striking of the ball against one of the toads would serve as an auditory signal of the earthquake's occurrence. Remarkably, in 2005, scientists in Zhang's hometown managed to replicate his seismoscope and successfully detected simulated earthquakes based on waves from real-life seismic events. Even in the context of today's advanced scientific understanding, this seismoscope remains a symbol of innovation and foresight. Its refinement and reliability continue to inspire admiration, and it serves as an example of the timeless pursuit of knowledge and the quest to unravel the mysteries of the natural world. Number 3. The Lycurgus Cup. The Lycurgus Cup, a 1600-year-old Roman artifact housed in the British Museum, has long captivated scientists and art enthusiasts alike with its visual effects. Crafted from jade green glass, the cup transforms into a radiant red hue when illuminated from behind, creating a spectacle that defies explanation. For decades, the secret behind this remarkable color-changing phenomenon remained elusive. However, in 1990, researchers in England made a groundbreaking discovery that shed light on the cup's mystique. Through an examination of broken glass fragments under a microscope, they unraveled the ancient Roman artisans' ingenious use of nanotechnology. Embedded within the glass matrix were minuscule particles of silver and gold, each measuring a mere 50 nanometers in diameter, a fraction of the size of a grain of table salt. The mechanism behind this is the vibrational behavior of the metal particles when exposed to light. As photons interact with these nanoparticles, they induce oscillations that alter the cup's perceived color. Modern applications of this kind of nanotechnology extend far beyond mere aesthetics. From diagnosing diseases to detecting biohazards at security checkpoints, nanoparticles offer unprecedented capability in sensing and analysis. In a recent study conducted by engineers at the University of Illinois, gold and silver nanoparticles exhibited remarkable sensitivity to various substances, showcasing their potential for enhancing sensors. By harnessing the power of nanotechnology, the Romans achieved feats that continue to inspire awe in the modern age. As scientists delve deeper into the possibilities offered by these particles, the potential for groundbreaking advancements across numerous disciplines continues to expand. Number 2. The Bighorn Medicine Wheel. Perched nearly 10,000 feet above the Bighorn Range in Wyoming, the Medicine Mountain holds a fascinating mystery. A stone pattern that emerges during the summer months when the snow recedes. This ancient arrangement, known as the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, spans 80 feet in diameter, with 28 spokes radiating from a central cairn, and 6 smaller cairns positioned around its perimeter. While this specific configuration is notable, it's not unique to Wyoming. Hundreds of similar stone wheels are found across North America. These structures, known as medicine wheels or sacred hoops, have been constructed by Native Americans for centuries. They serve various purposes, from ritualistic to astronomical, and over time they've been adopted by New Age spiritualists, Wiccans, and pagans. Archaeoastronomer Jack Eddy's research revealed the wheel's celestial significance. Built by Plains tribes between 300 and 800 years ago, the wheels aligned with the positions of the sun and prominent stars around the summer solstice. Eddy discovered that viewing points created by aligning specific cairns correspond to significant horizon points. For example, 2 cairn alignments mark where the sun rises and sets on the summer solstice, the year's longest day. Additionally, other cairn combinations align with the risings of the bright stars Aldebaran, Rigel, and Sirius. At the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, Aldebaran's helical rising happens a few days before the solstice. Rigel rises 28 days later, which is 1 lunar month, and Sirius follows another 28 days after Rigel. Today, the Bighorn Medicine Wheel continues to function as an accurate predictor of the summer solstice, and it's used by various indigenous groups. The site's registered as a National Historic Landmark, and it's monitored by archaeologists during the summer. Other significant medicine wheels include one at Moose Mountain in Saskatchewan and another in Majorville, Alberta, which is believed to be 5,000 years old. Number 1. Damascus Steel. Damascus Steel is renowned for its qualities and historical significance. It was a hallmark of pre-industrial metallurgy, and it's often used to forge weapon blades. Its production involved a closely guarded process in which wrought iron was heated to a red-hot state in the presence of materials within closed vessels. This process resulted in an iron-carbon alloy with carbon content of up to 1.8%. The carburized iron was then likely annealed to reduce some of the carbon content before being hammered into bars and fashioned into items such as swords. The distinctive features of Damascus steel include its remarkable hardness and its unique watered or streak appearance, which is due to the varying carbon levels of the original material. Often, a single bar of Damascus steel was composed of different types of steel, which were repeatedly welded and folded and re-welded until the layers intertwined. The quality of a Damascus blade was often judged by these patterns, which served as an indicator of the steel's quality. Over time, many legends have emerged about Damascus steel, such as its purported ability to cut through the rifle barrels or sever hair falling across the blade. While these tales are likely exaggerated, the actual properties of Damascus steel, its combination of flexibility and hardness, were indeed extraordinary for its time. Despite modern steels outperforming ancient Damascus alloys in many ways, the historical Damascus blades were remarkable due to the chemical reactions during their production. Wood steel ingots used to make Damascus steel were carburized with woody biomass and leaves, which contributed to the formation of carbon nanotubes. Recent research indicates that these carbon nanotubes can originate from plant fibers, providing a little insight into how they might have been incorporated into the Damascus steel. The production of Damascus steel swords gradually declined and ceased around 1900, with the last documented instance happening in 1903 in Sri Lanka. Theories explaining this decline include the disruption of trade routes, the depletion of specific ores, the loss of technical knowledge, and the suppression of the industry by the British Raj. The discovery of these carbon nanotubes in Damascus Steel, though, suggests that the specific production process or raw materials were crucial and possibly lost over time. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thank you to our channel members.